Good afternoon, everyone. After a long hiatus, I'm back with another episode of Rachael A, cooking my way through the hits of Rachael Ray. Now this week, it's going to be a Valentine's special. I'm going to be making Rachael Ray's famous 5-minute fudge wreath for your Valentine's sweetie. Now, Rachael Ray wants you to cook this for Christmas. Naturally, it's a wreath, but I'm not doing it for Christmas for two reasons. The first one is, it's February. It's a little too late. And the second one is, not everyone celebrates Christmas, but everyone celebrates Valentine's Day. You have to, or you'll be ostracized by your friends and family. So, let's get started with making the fudge wreath. It just cooks up right in the microwave. It should take about 5 minutes, and then you can give it to somebody special. If you don't have somebody special, keep it for yourself. That'll make you feel better about being alone. So, to get started, what I'm going to do is take 1 cup of chocolate chips, put them in a bowl. Now for this, you want to be absolutely sure that you're getting organic, vegan, fair trade chocolate chips. I know it's a lot, and they're probably going to cost extra, but that special someone is going to sleep well at night knowing that the chocolate that they're eating was not harvested by child slaves, and it's not contributing to environmental destruction or animal cruelty. So, seriously, spend the extra $2. To that 1 cup of chocolate chips, I'm going to add 4 ounces, also known as a ½ cup of vegan butter. Now you can use Earth Balance for this, or Blue Bonnet Light if you don't want to spend too much money. So I'm just adding 1 ½ cup stick to my bowl of chocolate chips. I'm just going to melt this in the microwave for a little bit so they'll start to come together. I'm going to do 30-second intervals. Now this is important because you don't want your chocolate to get overcooked. If it's improperly tempered, then it can just become very hard and difficult to eat. It won't taste as good, it won't look as good. So you want to check it maybe every 30 seconds or so. Give it a stir, see how it's doing, and that way you'll know that your wreath is going to come out perfectly this Valentine's Day. So let's see how the chocolate's doing. It's got 5 more seconds to go on this round. And let's look at it. So, as you can see, maybe, the butter's getting a little bit melted. So I'm going to try to stir that over the chocolate to incorporate the two of them. Just going to take a spoon and mix it right up. This probably isn't the healthiest snack, but it is going to be delicious. I've adapted Rachael Ray's recipe a little bit since hers was not originally vegan. Called for, milk chocolate chips and condensed milk and other things that vegans don't eat. So I mixed it pretty well, but there's still a lot of hard chunks in here. Those are the unmelted chocolate chips. So I'm going to put it back into the microwave and let it go for another 30 seconds. Okay, so it's gone for another 30 seconds. Let's take a look. Ooh, it's very soupy. I hope not too much. It's very melted, and the chocolate seems to be pretty well melted. I'm not sure how well I can show you. There we go. It's looking very soupy. So what I'm going to do now, since I think it's sufficiently melted, is I'm going to add 1/2 cup of powdered sugar to the mix. And just stir that in. That's going to help thicken it up a little bit. That's coming together nicely. And then I'm going to just add 1/4 cup of non-dairy milk. In this case, I'm using Trader Joe's almond milk original flavor, no added sugar, so I think that'll be good for this. But you could use a soy milk or a rice milk, or any sort of almond milk, whatever you like best for your cooking. I found that almond milk tends to be the tastiest and work the best in a lot of recipes. You could use coconut milk, I suppose. You could also use coconut oil instead of butter to help the fudge come together. That could be good. So I'm just going to stir until this is incorporated. Okay, finally, all of my soy milk seems to be incorporated. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and pan this tiny pan that I found. Look at this. Isn't this cute? It's a miniature bundt pan that I got in my local thrift store for 50 cents. This is what I'm going to make my wreath in. But just to make sure that my fudge will come out when I want it to, I'm just going to spray it down with my good friend Pan cooking spray. And just give it a good covering there. I'm going to spray some auxiliary containers too, in case I have too much fudge, which I suspect I will. Never a bad problem to have. Ooh, I almost forgot. I was going to blend some walnuts into my fudge mix. Rachael Ray wants you to do this too. It's just going to give it a nice texture, maybe feel like you're eating something a little bit healthier, getting those good fats from the nuts. So I'm just going to mix that into my chocolate mixture. And that's about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of chopped walnuts. That's just what I had. Just stir those in, make sure that they're evenly mixed throughout your chocolate mixture. So I'm going to take my tiny bundt pan. What I'm going to do is, just so that the top of the wreath will be decorated, I'm going to put some red gummy candies in it so it'll look a little bit more festive and Valentine's Day-y. And remember, if you want your sweetie to know that you really care about them, you're going to choose organic vegan candies. So I got these at the Davis Food Co-op. I got gummy bears and fruit wedges, all red color for the theme. And I'm just going to put them into this little pan so that when I flip it and flip out the fudge ring, you'll be able to see the candies on top. So I'm just going to put a few to be decorative. I'm not very artistic, so I'll just sort of put them in there randomly and hope it turns out. Just going to alternate bears, vegan bears, and fruit wedges. I think it'll look really nice. So I've layered those in there. And it looks like this. Oh, you can't see. There it is. Just sort of enough to give the top of the fudge a little bit of a Valentine's look. And to add to that, I'm going to use these pink sprinkles that I have and just sprinkle those along the sides so that hopefully the top of the fudge will just come out looking very holiday themed, very thematic indeed. So I added a good amount of sprinkles to my pan. You want to see it? Of course you do. Let me tilt this down. So that's the sprinkles inside the miniature pan. And now I'm just going to plop my fudge into this ring. So let's just add it by the spoonful. And it's still fairly liquidy, so it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be setting up at all. I'm just going to fill up my miniature ring pan. If you don't have one of these, you could use just a small square pan, maybe a 6x6 or a 9x9. It may not look as cute, but you can cut it into nice little squares. You could put strawberries on it. Just anything that might make your sweetie feel special this Valentine's Day. Whatever it takes so that they're not mad at you, you know. Okay, so I filled up my little ring pan. What I'm going to do is just drop it on the counter a few times, gently, so it doesn't spill. But I want to make sure that if there's any air pockets at the bottom, they come up to the top so it doesn't look bad. So this is the filled pan, and what I'm going to do is just put it in the fridge for a couple hours to set and let it cool. Then I'm going to pop it out and we'll see how it looks. In the meantime, I have all this extra fudge mix, so what I think I'm going to do is just spoon it into these silicone cupcake liners that I have, and maybe put some of the vegan candies on the top of those ones too. And maybe these little treats could go to, you know, your number 2 boo, or your family or friends, somebody who's less important this Valentine's Day, but you should still want to show some love to. So, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I hope it goes well. And everyone has love and romance this February. See you again soon. Bye-bye.